Come on, guys. Hey. 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 Quick pop-up scope about hair coloring enhancement on hair weave. I'm going to actually show you a little technique that we do. Hey guys. Thank you for joining on in here. Thank you guys for joining on in here. I'm going to actually show you a couple of techniques, but before I get to starting on the techniques, we'll just give it a few seconds, let some people jump on. This is my first time really around this time. So, hey Sam Green, hey Just Beauty. I'm going to show you just a couple of things that you can do to color your track hair before you do your custom wigs. Hey, so guys, those of you who are coming in, thank you so much for coming in this afternoon or this morning. And I am TenishaBibbs. I'm a licensed cosmetologist educator. I'm also a wig specialist, a hair loss practitioner. I teach you the art and science of custom wig making and also how to start a custom wig business. So this afternoon now, it's almost 11 o'clock. So I'm on because I wanted to just show you guys in reference to hair coloring your custom wigs. I know if you are a custom wig maker, you'll have customers coming in and buying your hair, and instead of getting that hair already pre-done, a lot of times when it's pre-done, it's not right. So you can actually custom do your colors. Hair coloring, as far as lightening, is good to use as well, as long as you do it correctly. Okay. So first of all, the main reason why you are getting a hair color when it comes to or doing hair colors on your tracks is to enhance your look. So your customers come to you, they want to enhance their custom wig. They just don't want a black or a brown or, just one solid color. They may want hair color. So they want to create this new hair color look for them. They also want to make a fashion statement. So they're saying, hey, this is me. This is who I am. For me, in the wintertime, I always wear black hair. In the summertime, I'll always pre-lighten my hair to a 7C, which is a 7 copper, and I wear it like that for the entire summer. Around May or April, you'll see me with something different in my hair. I don't change up too much, but I like those colors. They enhance my skin. My skin in the winter tends to be a little bit lighter, and in the summertime it tends to be darker. So those colors just contrast with my skin tone. I love it. Okay, so the three things you want to understand about hair structure is texture, density, and also porosity. So and when it comes to hair tracks, you want to also take those into consideration as well. All right. A level is the unit of measurement used to identify lightness or darkness of the hair color. So what happens is the hair goes through a transitional stage when you apply lightener on it. And so when you apply this lightener on it, it goes from at a range on a scale from 1 to 10. So you'll see that different transitioning when the hair is being lightened. When you're lightening your tracks, you are intensifying the color. Okay. You are intensifying that color. When you use lightener, you are depositing that color onto that hair extension, okay, in a single process. Because there's more alkaline in it, there is what's called a no-lift deposit, okay? So only colors and, I wrote my notes down. Only colors, and they are only colors usually mix with a higher volume developer, which is a lightener, okay? If you're going to use a no-lift deposit as well, you could also use that as well, okay? So when you're lightening your hair tracks, you cannot lighten hair without a developer. All right. Anytime you do that, you cannot lighten it without a developer. Permanent hair colors contain uncolored dyes. Okay. Precursors. So they're very small and very easy to penetrate the hair shaft. All right. Just like when you see this right here, this is a shaft. I'm going to show you a demonstration. This is a hair. This is called the shaft of the hair. So if you see this part here, this is what's called the ends of the hair. All right. This would be what's called the new growth area of the hair when you're dealing with hair coloring. All right. And then this is the shaft of the actual hair. Okay. So I'm going to show you a little technique on that as well. Dye precursors which is color or lightener, plus hydrogen peroxide, which is developer, equals a permanent color. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Dye precursors, which is your lightener, plus hydrogen peroxide, which is your developer, equals permanent color. Okay, the molecules are trapped within the cortex of the hair and cannot be easily shampooed out. I did a scope in reference to the different structure of the hair, the cuticle, the cortex, and the medulla, and what they were, and how permanent hair colors, they penetrate the cortex of the hair. So they go past the cuticle into that cortex, and they permanently alter that hair. Okay, anytime permanent hair colors remove the natural pigments from the hair through lightening. So the natural pigments are being removed, okay, which is causing and then you have to deposit something. So but it also adds artificial colors to the hair. So it removes the natural pigments and it adds artificial colors to the hair, okay? Developer, which is the volume, they call it volume now, or developer, is an oxidizing agent, okay? Anytime you use a developer, it's oxidizing. So it supplies oxygen gases to develop the color molecules and creates a change in a natural hair color. All right. So that's what you are going to see when it comes to coloring your hair. It's so important. People think I can just pop color on the hair and it don't come out right. You have different sections. Matter of fact, let me show you that. Destiny, pass me that hair color right there. I'm sorry, guys. All right. Lightening, dissolving, and decolorize right there, baby. That hair, that piece. Yes. Give me the whole thing. The other one. Thank you. This is a color that I did last night when I used a bleach. And you can actually see that color right here. Okay. It went from, let me show you. It went from this color right here, which is a black on the level system. It's a black. It went from the black all the way to the blonde. Okay. You can also lighten it. This is a one single process that I did this in. Okay. And you can see from top to bottom, the entire, from the root area all the way onto the shaft, all the way to the ends is one color. Okay. You can see that also on the back as well. All right. So that wasn't bought. I did that myself. Okay. Decolorizing process goes through different stages. It's a level system. Okay. It goes from dark to light, or the lightest to the dark. Okay. With one being black all the way up to the lightest color. All right. And when it goes through that decolorization stage, you'll see a transition. You'll see stages. You'll see the undertones pulling out. You may see golds. You may see red. You'll see blues. You'll see greens. Things like that. So depending on the developer that you use, you're going to. So in other words, if I use a 20 volume, it's only going to give me 20 levels or 2 levels of lift. So it's not going to really lighten that much, but it's going to give me, depending where your hair starts at. So if I lighten from this point here, it's going to give me 2 levels of lift, and it might not get as light. It might be in your brown stage. Okay. I do a scope where I actually show you that. If I go in right here, all right, at this stage, and I put a 20 volume on it, it's going to give me 2 levels of lift. So it's going to go up into maybe the lightest blonde, okay, or light blonde. And so you want to make sure that you're doing that. So I'm going to actually show you what I do, because once the developer hits the bleach, it starts oxidizing. And so what you want to do is you want to be extra, extra careful, because this stuff is really, it's really high. It can get into your lungs and things like that. I do not have my gloves, but you're always supposed to use gloves. And the only reason why is because I'm not touching the product. Okay. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how you do this. All right. I'm just going to show you just a little bit here. This is a little afternoon pop-up scope. Oh, excuse me, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a 30 volume developer so that you can kind of see the oxidizing process and how it actually goes through the color stage system. A lot of times it may take about, 20 minutes to do, and then it depends on the hair. So what I did was I have the peroxide in here. Let me show you. I'll take my 20 volume developer and put my peroxide in. Okay. And then I'm just kind of mixing just a little bit. I'm folding it in, right? So I'm getting it like that, okay? Just like that, okay? Just like that. And you want to take it, because remember, it's oxidizing. A lot of times when you see it starts swelling, that's what's happening. It's oxidizing. So you just want to be careful. Just take your time with it, okay? Just take your time with it. Okay? Just take your time. Now, right here, what you want to do when it comes to your hair extensions is you want to lay them out. I see so many people at the shampoo bowl, and they're just, you want to lay it out so that you can have an even consistency. But what you want to do is, the first thing you want to do is you want to fold that over, okay? You want to take your lightener and you want to lightly brush the actual container here. Okay. The ends normally on natural hair, when you are doing a hair color, you're going to start with the base of the hair, okay, or the midsection of the hair, I would say, all right, which is this section right in here, because it don't penetrate that quick or that easy. Now, when you're doing on your scalp, it's going to penetrate quick because your body heat is going to help penetrate that color. So what I would do is, this is what I do. I go right here on the shaft of the hair and I actually color down just like that. I do not go to the ends. Now remember, the bottom is already being done because I already put the developer with the lightener at the bottom, okay? So what I'm going to do is you go in right here at the end and just bring it in here. It's okay, you can do that here. You want to saturate that real good. What you need to do is take a cardboard box and lay that cardboard box out. And you could also use your hair and lay your hair out. Take a staple gun, something like this, or a big staple gun, and staple your right here up on the edges. A real small staple gun, not big, okay? Not the big heavy duty one. And staple that all the way across the board, so that way it can be evened, okay? And then you lay that that aluminum foil over it, or plastic, or whatever you're going to use, and you brush the lightener on the bottom and put that hair on like that, okay? And put your hair on like that. All right. So I'm going to put a little bit more on. So what this is doing is it's penetrating. It's actually penetrating now. I will wait to do the new growth area, which the new growth area is on the top right in this section here. Now, to help penetrate this, you can also put a aluminum foil on top. You can put it under dryer just a little bit. You know what I mean? Do what you need to do to get this hair penetrated. But really and truly, it's going to actually penetrate on its own. You don't need to do any. You don't need to help it at all. Okay, it's going to penetrate on its own. The thing about when you're doing a hair color on hair wefts, and you want to do a custom wig, is you're going to get 5 to 10 business days before you actually have that custom wig ready, right? So you're going to take your time and do your color. You want to make sure that it's even all over and you get the nice consistency that you need for your customers so they can come back. All right. So I'm actually looking at it right now and actually going through the decolorization process. The decolorization process which really are like undertones, really, to be honest with you. If you look at it on the level system, it goes from dark to light or light to dark, right? So it start going from the darkest color and start working its way on up to the lightest color. However, because I only use a 30 or a 20 volume, if I use a 20 volume, it's only going to give me a 20 level of lift. If I use a 30 volume, it's going to give me a 30 level of lift. 10 volume is not even going to do a deposit, really. But all the 20, 30s, and 40s and things like that, they are going to actually deposit onto the hair shaft. So what's going to happen is, now if you see it, I'm not sure if you can kind of see it. It's coming through a little bit. It's going through the decolorization process. And what happened is with the decolorization process, after it's come through, you're going to start seeing, hey, Cynthia online, thank you for joining. You're going to start seeing the different colors pull through that, okay? So it's so important to learn a level system when you're actually doing hair coloring to your, when you're doing hair coloring to your hair tracks, okay, before a custom wig. It's very, 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 very important to learn the level system, because you can do it wrong. And when you get it wrong, you're going to have to do the process over again. It's going to take more time and more money, all right? So what I did was I actually just on a aluminum background, hey, Tanisha, hey, Cynthia, I just on aluminum background, I took my hair and I actually stapled it across here. You can actually do that on a foam board or whatever you use to color your hair tracks before you do your custom wig. And you're going to put the lightener at the bottom, okay, on the aluminum foil. And then you're going to take the hair track and you're going to lay that hair track on top and then put it on the lightener on the hair shaft. You always use gloves, okay? But for this process, I'm not really touching the chemicals. So as you see now, I'm not sure if you can actually see if my light is showing, it's going to what's called a decolorization process. So you're going to start seeing reds, blues. It's going to go through blue, red, yellow, all of that. Okay, I'm not getting into the color theory and things like that when it comes to hair coloring. That's a whole nother process. But law of color is what you need to learn before you do this. Now, notice on a natural hair, the shaft takes longer to penetrate, okay? That's why in my class, my lightning class, you will learn what's on base and off base lightning. So which one to use in which, process, or which in the timing that you need to use it in. So on natural hair, like if I'm using my natural hair and I'm lightening my natural hair, what happened is the scalp area penetrates quick because of the body heat. The body heat is going to penetrate that lightener, the lightener, and it's going to go like that. So that's why you always see difference in the scalp versus the ends. So you do the ends first, you do the base first, or you do the shaft first, and let the shaft penetrate to a point. You're like, I like that. And at the end, you go back in and do this area here. Okay. Yes, that's why the colors are so different. So you always do the shaft first. It is anytime you have virgin hair, you do the shaft first. Let it sit. Even it may take 20 minutes. The reason why it takes 20 minutes, anytime you are in doubt and you don't know what the developer to use, you always use a 20 volume. 20 volume is only going to give you a 2 level of lift. So on the level system, if your hair is black or brown, you're only going up 2 stages. So you're only going up to maybe a light or a medium brown. So that's why people go and put in 40 volumes and stuff and create a mess. So you just take your time with color. Okay, you don't have to try to go in with a 30 volume right away, especially if you don't have your speed is not fast enough. All right, stick with the. Now I want you to see that. See that? This is called the decolorization process. All right, I took the hair literally from this color here, which is black, to this color right here. All right, this is a single process. All right. And I use a 30 volume with this color process here. All right. So this is a lightener. I use some really good lightener that I use. It's called 7 stages. You can use that lightener as well. Yeah. So the color going through. So I'm going to let that sit for just a quick second. You can also take aluminum foil and you can put it over it and allow it to process a little bit more. But my thing is if you're a first time color person, don't leave it. Just keep looking at it and watch it as it goes through the process. I love to see when it goes through the process. Okay, there's also another process, another technique that I use that I actually do in my training class, and that is when I can't tell you but anyway, I just want you to see it. Yes, the foil also create a heating process, but in the class you would learn what on base and off base lighteners are. So you don't even really need the foil to actually create the heat. You can use certain types of lighteners to create that heat for you. And literally, if you use a certain type of lightener, you can, and you use the foil, you can actually feel the heat. And sometimes you smell the lightener, which is not good. It over processes the hair. Okay, so that's why it's so important to use certain type of lighteners. If you go into your stores or whatever, and you like look behind on the back of the manufacturer direction, it'll tell you which type of lightener it is and where it goes. You have on base and off base lighteners. Okay, and everybody always use on base lighteners, and I'm like, why it didn't come out right? Okay, maybe you're not using the right type of lightener. All right, and remember, this is a you have three stages to the hair. And you got a cuticle, a cortex, and a medulla. And when it comes to permanent hair coloring, or when it comes to lightener, it always penetrates the cortex of the hair. So that means that it gives a permanent change. You cannot go back. Once you do a permanent change, that is it. It is going to alter that hair. Just like with natural hair. When people put color on natural hair, it has altered that hair to a permanent change. It will not. It will revert back with products, but it depends on the type of products you use. You have to go through certain. I've only found one company really, which is Lion's Mane, that would actually help that hair to revert back to its natural curl pattern. But if you use on natural hair, if you lightening the hair, you are altering the permanent or the cortex of the hair. So that's why your hair will not revert back like you want it to revert back. Girl, you are so pretty, Tanisha. I'm so glad that you came out. Yes, I did. I'm so look, this ain't the last time. We're going to meet up again. So I just wanted to show you guys. I want to show you, if you guys can see. You see it? It's going through the brown stage. You see that? You see that? I'll show you. It's going through that brown stage. Oh my God. And see, sometimes you may have to do a double process depending on what the customer wants. So if they say, I just want brown, this will be fine for them. But you have to let it penetrate. Sometimes it takes up to 45 minutes literally for that hair to pull through, and and you start seeing those different stages that it's going through. So right now it's in the brown stage. So like again, I said, I took it from this stage here, which is black, all the way up to this here, okay, which is one color. All right, don't worry too much about the end. You can color the track part, but don't really worry too much about the track part, because you're not going to see it anyway when you're doing a custom wig. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys that little technique right there. I like it the way it's going through. And then at the end, once you get it to the color you want to get it to, then that's when you go in and you do your ends here, or your root area, and then you'll start noticing that as this is pulling out, that this will start processing up here. This will start processing. Okay. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. I'm actually in the middle of doing a custom wig, and when I am completed with my custom wig, I will be scoping on it this evening at 10 o'clock hour. Thank you so much, guys, for jumping on. I greatly appreciate those of you who know me already. I'm TenishaBibbs. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, educator, hair practitioner, and hair loss specialist. And I teach you the art and science of custom wig making and how to build a custom wig business. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you at 10. I love you guys. Bye-bye.